I got you. You good? So you see he dressed in all black, right? So you saying you black is you saying you look like that? Is that what your skin color look like?
No, but I don't mean black as in my skin color is actually black. It's what I identify as.
Right, but why as you look at everybody else, like the Caucasians, the Chinese, why everybody got an actual name but we got beard color? Alright, so that's what we saying. The people, the Israelites in the scriptures, you believe in the Bible?
I believe in the Bible.
Okay.
I'm not a big religious person though.
That's fine. That's fine. So get
Jeremiah 17.
Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou even thyself. Revelations. Jeremiah 17 verse 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to...
Salaki, get Deuteronomy 7 and 6 first.
Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power.
Right, so the word holy means separate, right? So it says, so thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. Go ahead.
The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right, so in the scriptures, there's a chosen people that the Most High chose to be special to him and above all the other people upon the face of the earth. So that's why we ask you what's in the nationality. Because there's a nationality that's the greatest nationality there is, and that's the Hebrew Israelites. You see? So the Most High chose chosen people, but something went wrong. You don't get a Deuteronomy 28:1.
You said Deuteronomy 28:1?
Yeah.
There's Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. It says, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
Right, it means if you listen to your Lord. Go ahead.
It says,
this is to the chosen people.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth.
Right, so in order to enjoy the earth, right, we had to do something, meaning listen. You know, go jump to 15.
Absolutely. Verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, so this is going to happen to you if you don't listen, or to the nation. Long story short, the nation of Israel didn't listen to the Lord. So all those curses that's read after that verse right there is going to come upon the people. Like, have you ever heard of the Israelites before?
Yeah, I heard of Israelites. I don't know too much about them.
So who do you think they are? According to what you heard.
Who do I think the Israelites are? I just think they're people that live in the Middle East.
The people that live in the Middle East?
That's all that, like when you say Israelites, that's all that comes to my mind.
But that's in the curses that we've been scattered.
Yeah. This James, it's a lot. This
What's that?
James chapter 1, I know it's in Deuteronomy. Okay. You want me to grab that one?
Yeah. No, jump into scatter.
Okay.
In Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Yeah, 64 go to the end, because what he's referring to is actually the so-called Jews over there.
Okay.
We got to stick to the curses so he can understand the difference.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other.
Right, so that's what happened to the Israelites. So they're not just going to be where you think they at. They're going to be scattered all across the face of the earth. So the Israelites are everywhere. Yep. You know?
Okay, so is that what y'all would consider yourselves Israelites?
Yeah, that's what we said. These people on the sign right here is the Israelites in the scriptures, in the Holy Bible. This Holy Bible is all about the Israelites.
Okay.
When you read John 3 and 16, that he came for everyone, that's not true. He came from Salaki. He came for the Hebrew Israelites.
Okay, so all the people on the left side here are different denominations now, but they originate from the same source, which is the Israelites.
So the so-called Negroes are from the tribe of the man or the father, Judah. These are all men right here, and these are who you think of these men. So let's deal with Judah, the Jews. You know who the Jews are?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Well, all right. When you say Jewish, I think of the Holocaust. I think of
because the word this has been all whitewashed, right? What's the word? Iconoclasm.
Yep.
You know, they took off our faces and put their own. That's it. So the real Jews are these people right here. Get Revelations 2 and 9. You got something?
Okay. I got
Yeah, 2 and 9. Go ahead.
I want that. This is Genesis 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy...
I'm sorry.
I'll read verse 1.
Yeah, read verse 1 first.
Genesis 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Go ahead, read the next verse.
Verse 2. Gather yourselves together, and hear ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
Right, so Jacob's name is Israel. Jacob's name got changed to Israel. So anytime you hear Israel or Jacob, it's the same person. So he gathered all his sons before he died. He said, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen to you in the last days. So that's why he's getting this specific tribe, so you understand why we got these names on this side.
Now, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down themselves.
Keep going.
Oh, Salak. Yeah, read it again.
Yeah, Slock, you got it, bro. Slock. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Right, meaning that this tribe right here, the tribe of Judah, is the tribe that all the brothers over here is going to praise.
Okay.
You know, so that it's like the head tribe. So you know about so-called Jesus, right? I say so-called because he actually came from one of these tribes. So,
I can believe that.
So there's no way that his name will be Jesus. It will have to be a Hebrew name. That's who he is. You know?
Yeah, I never believed in the white Jesus in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good. But now you got to stop believing in what the so-called white man said that you are. You know, you said you believe in the Bible, so this is what the Bible is talking about. Let's jump to who he's coming for, or who salvation is for. Matthew 1 and 21.
This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. It's about patience. And it reads, And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai.
Read it verbatim. Read it verbatim.
Matthew 1 and 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Right, so he shall save his people. So now we got to see who his people are. You go ahead and get that. You got it?
This is Hebrews chapter 7, verse 13. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Right, so he sprung out of Judah. That's who he's. It said he was coming to save his people, right? So he was coming to save us, man. You know, but it gets deeper. It's talking about the elect. But we ain't gonna go that far. What you got? Acts 5. Go ahead, get that. Get Matthew 15 and 21.
Acts 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey the Most High rather than men. The power of our fathers, or the God of our fathers, raised up Yahushai, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him hath the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
Right, so this is all about Israel. You know, it's just going into telling you how this whole Bible is about the Israelites. And who you know of Jesus, he didn't come for the whole world. He came for the Israelites. Go and get Matthew 15.
This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
You know, so this is all about the Israelites. You know?
Now this is good information, man. I gotta get out of here soon, though. My girl waiting for me.
Alright, just what you got?
Alright, hit me with this on real quick.
If anything, I was just gonna let you know the YouTube. You got a phone on you?
Oh yeah.
Just take down the YouTube. That's how you learn more. That's what we're doing right now.
I like this, man.
We out here every Saturday.
I'm about to say, I'll be coming out here for brunch and stuff. I think this is the first time I ever seen y'all.
You want me to write it down? Got you.
Oh yeah, it's like
Oh.
It's the thing. If we were in like somebody, if we were in a neighborhood, in a building, in a church, you wouldn't be able to find us. The real men of the Lord were always out on the streets. If you ever were scared and you wanted to know what the Lord was going to do, you would go out into the street and listen to see a man of the Lord, because he usually be yelling at the top of his lungs. You know, he'd be yelling as loud as he can, warning the people. That's what we doing. We're coming back in this reincarnation to do just that.
I like all of this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check y'all out.
All right,
brother. That was crazy too. I typed in GM, and as soon as I put S, ours was the first one. That never happened. You know, I was just scared. Yeah, he was supposed to, he was meant to get it.
Oh, his. Okay,
Yeah, on his phone when I put it in. That never happens. I typed in GMS, it's always some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He actually came back this time, so.
Right, he came back like he said.
And you see, you get Jeremiah 5:1 real quick, and Luke 14:23, and Proverbs 1 and 21. Let's get these three scriptures.
Jeremiah 5:20.
Yeah. And actually, one of you get Hebrews. What's that? Hebrews 9 and 24. Hebrews 9 and 24. Whichever precept you get, I can get. Read it.
Jeremiah 5 verse 21. Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding.
I'm sorry, 5:1.
Jeremiah chapter 5. Jeremiah 5 verse 1. Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now and know, and seek in the broad places thereof.
Right, it says run to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem. It didn't say run up in a house and see if you can find, right? It didn't say a specific location. It just said the broad places thereof, in the streets. That's why you're not going to find this truth that we bringing out. You're not going to find it in your church. You're not going to find it in your mosque or whatever you tend to believe in. You're not going to find it in your own bed chambers either, you know? But if you don't have, like the brother said, you had to go on his phone to type in GMS. He would have never known to do that at home. He might have been there, had talked in Hebrew Israelites, but then that would have steered him off in a course that we don't know about. You know what I mean? Now it says, see if you can find a man. It's these people right here. All right, we looking for the men of this nation. In these churches, they don't preach the Ezekiel 37th chapter. We do. Keep going to Jeremiah 5.
Jeremiah 5, continuing on from the verse 1. And seek in the broad places thereof, if ye can find a man,
right?
If there be any that executed judgment.
Right, and that's a lot of our people, they got this problem. Where are our women at? They're at home, man. The Most High said, "Oh, ye men do I call." All the prophets, what woman that had a prophecy or a dream that has a book in here, man? No, not a one. It's all Isaiah, Jeremiah, Amos, it's all men. Because the Lord is calling men back. This is how he's building his tabernacle. The house of David wasn't established with women, it was established with men. Now, what do you got up in these churches? It's nothing but women running them shits. Right? And all these different counts. Didn't you say at the Pilgrims that all the 16 chapters of Black Lives Matter are headed up by women? Hey, y'all about they all headed up by women. So we not looking for that. Keep going, Doc.
And it reads, if there be any that executed judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon it.
Right, now go to Hebrews 9. See that Hebrews 9 and 24.
This Hebrews chapter 9.
That's why we always say we're out here as a symbol of mercy from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're showing you the way of getting pardoned and redeemed. The brothers, the Akim, were breaking it down perfectly, telling you about our forefather Jacob, about the prophecies, about who we are, and how Yahweh Shai's for us. But as you can see, Jake just doesn't have enough time for the Lord, man. You people, you're going to find out you got plenty of time for the Lord when you ain't got time to do nothing, because this devil locked down the streets, man. A lot of you people have no idea what's coming. And you won't get pardoned. See, when all hell breaks loose, that's when part of the pardoning is going to happen, right up until Abarak we get the salvation. See? That pardoning comes with protection. Go ahead, Hebrews.
This is Hebrews chapter 9, verse 24. For Mashiach is not entered into the holy places made with hands.
Right, he's not entered into these temples. That's why you're not going to find the truth in these buildings or any of these places. You go in there, they got all these idols on the walls, man. Caesar boards here everywhere. It's lies going down. All right? Now read that precept from the top again.
This is Hebrews chapter 9, verse 24. For Mashiach is not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us.
God, I'll go back to the Proverbs. Let's read Proverbs.
Proverbs 1:20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse.
Right, this is the chief place of concourse. You got food over there, you got a theater there, you got a club right there, you got the bank here, you know? You got a library down the street, you got a university right up here, you know what I'm saying? This is the main part of DC, man, of the area where we're gonna find our people, where our people congregate. Clearly, this guy, he said he only comes out here for brunch, but he's never seen us before, usually, because he's usually only out here for brunch. When does Jake usually go to brunch? Sundays, you know what I mean? Usually we out here Saturdays.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Unless it's bad weather, we hit the next day. But either way, the wisdom is gonna be out here in the streets, man. You're gonna find it out here in the battlefield, all right? The battle's not fought in the houses and stuff like that, because you can't find our people at home. Our people always want to be out and about. Go ahead, Doc.
21. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
Right, and that's our people. Our people are the simple ones. Our people are the ones who don't know who they are. They don't know what the hell is going to happen to them. And they steady walking up and down the street like nothing's going to happen in America. You know, they have no questions, detailed questions about what's going to happen in the future. But they want to ask all these alias-ass vain questions, you know. Is the earth flat? Well, how come the Lord is not going to save the fourth son of Ishmael? All types of madness, man. Jake just be coming up and expect more of it to arise, you know, with these crazy-ass doctrines, man. Because remember, you got whistleblowers amongst these other groups, like these women that call themselves coming out of IUIC a couple years back, blowing a whistle on their madness. We're gonna find out, man. There's a lot of curriculum and stuff that they've learned that's not true, man. And what are they doing? They bringing it out inside, in a classroom setting. And if you notice about these other sects of Israel, none of their members do lessons. None of them speak the truth. None of them come out on the streets. You don't see them doing if they have time during the week to have like a separate camp. And they got enough men to do a 300 march. You know what I'm saying? And that's 100 camps. If you take you divide that by 3, you can have with 100 camps. You got 3 men for each camp. You could have flooded the city with prophecies, man. But instead, what are you doing? You marching and then you going home. You going home. You giving in marriages. You getting drunk. You being adulterous. All right, get Isaiah 58 in 1 now. That's why we got to come out here. Hey, call Allah Yahweh Shemel Shad. Barakatah Yahweh Shemel Shad. Fuck your Saturdays, man. That's the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shad, man. That's what you call a party foul. That's an Edomite party foul. The water Yahweh Shemel Shad. Yeah, he's in straights, bro. That's right, he is tight.
Let's get the reference.
Yeah, come on. Get Isaiah 58:1.
Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression.
Yeah, that's why we come out here. It says, lift up your voice like a trumpet. You can yell and speak as loud as you want inside of a church, but you're not going to reach the masses that way. Because you have a lot of our people, even after the COVID broke out, and you clearly see the Lord sending plagues around the earth, you're still going back to church and still not getting answers.
That's right.
You still haven't came across Proverbs, the 1st chapter, and say, you know what, let me spend a day just driving around the city and see if there's anybody out there speaking about the scriptures, you know? At the least, you'll find a Southern Kingdom woman on a microphone, you know what I'm saying? Or what you call it, a Jehovah's Witness that you can ask questions to. Because even as wicked as Jehovah's wickedness is, at least their mind is catered towards the end, apocalyptic events. In these churches and in these demonic ass houses, they don't talk about nothing about the future, man. As far as it being grim and the day of the Lord being prepared and the judgments going forth. Read that other precept I called. What was it, Isaiah 58:1? You can read that again.
Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin.
Right, it says, so we're out here to mark the sins of our people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whether you want to believe it or not, you're the chosen people of the Bible, all right? You're the Israelites. Whether you want to go home and study it and look it up or not, all right? When all hell breaks loose, you're going to remember, because the Lord's going to show you his power, man.
That's right.
He's going to show you that you belong to him and the earth is his, man. You people think the earth belongs to the so-called white man because he got power. It's not true. That's contrary to the scriptures, man. The Lord is controlling this devil.
That's right.
Keep going in Proverbs, the 1st chapter.
Proverbs 1 verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
Right, how long will you love simplicity? This devil has clearly showed you on many avenues and networks that this whole pandemic was a plandemic or a scamdemic, man.
That's right.
Man, you people still believe this simple crap, man. They can give you all the ingredients and chemicals in these vaccinations, and you people still gonna take this shit. Why? Because you're simple, man. You got a beast mentality. Go ahead, Doc.
Answer this one.
Yeah, hop in there,
And
bro.
also, you know, it's amazing you said that when it comes to like cancer, right? Like they always have these, what's that, National Cancer Month or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's in October.
October, yeah.
Yeah. So they got all of these things going on with cancer this, the children, St. Jude, the commercial about children having cancer at a young age. But the research is out there that a lot of that cancer comes from the food, right? How many people, listen, everybody at this point, the majority of people know about GMO, right?
Yeah.
But where's the uprising? You know what I'm saying? Where's the revolt and the uprising against that? No, you continue to eat that bullshit, right? You don't go after companies like Monsanto, which Monsanto is a company from what? That's an Edomite company, man. And what do? They add poison to food. So when they poison the food and you eat the food, you catch cancer and you die. Instead of going after the people that are doing that, you keep eating the bullshit and just coming up with new months where you're gonna be like, you're gonna feel sad and you're gonna ask people to put money in for cancer. So it's that simplicity that the brother is talking about, man. It's that simplicity that the brother's talking about. How long are you gonna be simple and let and go that route? But you know, we understand why. See, the scripture tells you our people love to be lied to. They love to be lied to. And there's something in the minds of our people where they kind of, although they get destroyed, they still enjoy this shit. You see what I'm saying? So they still enjoy it. So therefore, they gotta go right along with the mother, man. The answer at the end, that's when you understand at the end of the day, the answer is thermonuclear missiles. There's no really, we speak to the elect, but the answer to this whole madness is thermonuclear missiles.
It's the final scene.
I'm telling you, it's thermonuclear missiles.
Yeah, it's the final scene. It's been planned. You know, in movies, they usually shoot the final scene first. You know what I mean? That's why the Lord says, "And the end is manifest." So he already knew how he wanted it to go down. That's it, man. What I call for? Hold on, go back to Jeremiah 2 and was it 21? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, holy a right seed. How then wilt thou turn into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
Right, says, how did you get turned into the degenerate plant? It's by these devils, man. It's by the simplicity that they placed in front of you, the simple life. You know, one wife, a house, you know, a picket fence, all right, a quarter of an acre, you know, your own mailbox, you know, your own trash can, your own washer and dryer. You know, this is a simple life, you know.
Wow.
But guess what? Guess what King Solomon had? His door hinges were gold. That's not simple.
That's right.
All his furniture was built out of cedars that actually benefited your body.
That's
See?
right.
These are the complex, natural things that Yahweh Shema Shah has given to us that is beneficial to us, and it's so much that that's on the spectrum of blessing us that Esau has blocked, man. That people, when they live in this world, they enjoy the simpleness because they don't see everything else. You
Who
know?
wants to keep living in a world Well, we know we eating poison and we just hoping we don't get sick and die.
Yeah, you gotta pray.
You know what I'm saying? You sitting you waking up every morning like, oh, I hope I don't catch cancer today, boy, you know? And it's like, oh, my neighbor caught cancer, oh, my uncle. And you sitting there like, damn, am I gonna catch cancer because we eating the same food? Who wants to keep living like that, man? Because that shit can pop up at any time, right? All you know is, hey, somebody coach say, yo, listen, bam, I got cancer. Huh? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I kind of, but go back to it. Kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, this is the word degenerate in Jeremiah 2:21. It's the Hebrew word sawar, which means degenerate. That's the only word it gives me, but I went to the Edom online. And it says degenerate, it's an adjective, late 15th century. It says having lost or suffered impairment to the qualities proper to the race or kind.
There you go. And that's what you have right now. What you have, what's that? They call it Generation Z or whatever. Yeah, Generation Z is a whole bunch of degenerates, man. They're a whole bunch of degenerates. Like, and it's crazy because a lot of these wicked ass Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, a lot of our people, they are in some hardcore drugs, man. A lot of these, because you know, there was a time when we came up, you know, it was just weed, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was this thing about what we doing with the, you know, the herbs and whatnot. But Jake didn't want to get into that whole, you know, that powder and shit like that. But these niggas, like, you don't even know until it just comes out. Like, no, you're 21 and you on pills, you doing Xanax and Preludes and like, you know, crack, like, you know.
I used to be hooked on crack.
So you talking about
$200,000 on crack.
Right, so
no lie.
Right, so
I hope
so
this is recorded
about,
too.
Right.
No facials.
All right, man. But we talking about 19, right? 17. No, actually, as young as 12. They out there in the streets and they just bugged out, man. And that's why you see the actions of our people. They're a degenerate plant, man. So instead of going up, our people are going the total opposite. All right? Meaning the quality of Israel is not the same. It's actually, this is the worst. Right now, what you're witnessing is the worst that the nation has to offer. This is how bad it gets when the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shah turns his back on Israel. As a matter of fact, can I get right quick? Hosea 5 and 15. But read that scripture again about degenerate plant. Is there more on that word?
I could be more on that.
This is
we see this morning. But read that scripture again.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21.
Right.
Yet I planted thee a noble vine.
Right, I planted ye a noble vine. You know what it means to be noble? See, we're supposed to be a nobility. You know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel, we're the greatest people on the planet. It tells you that 2 Samuel 7 and 23. Can somebody hold that? 2 Samuel 7 and 23. We're nobles. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing because, and it's sad, because we've gone from nobility, righteous owners of the entire planet, to calling ourselves savages. Like, I'm a savage, you know? Our people, our women call each other savage bitches, right? And our people call each other niggas and all of this shit. And we glorifying being pieces of shit and low lives and death. That's being a degenerate, man. And the Lord is looking at us like, what are you doing? It's like a dime piece, right? Who's out here and she purposely putting scars on her face, right? Cutting off her head, putting tattoos on her. It's like, I made you perfect. Why are you trying to look like that? And then you got women that are like 2, 3, the heathens, right? But now all of a sudden the heathens stand out. Why? Because Israel it's in the fucking bottom. You see the Edomite bodies and Edomite women in their bodies, you like, oh man, that ain't nothing. It's just you comparing that to these fat, obese, bald-headed women in our nation, man. That's what it means. So the nation has fallen greatly, man. But you know what? Through Yahweh Shah, man, the revival, the vine, guess what? The elect are coming back. That's right. And we fighting to get back to where we supposed to be, man, which is at the very top, rulers of the universe, man. Good.
Yeah, continuing on in the item online for degenerate, and it says from Latin degeneratus or geratus.
Speak louder, brother.
God, it says from Latin degeneratus, past participle of degenerare,
Right.
It says to be inferior to one's ancestors.
See that? To be inferior to one's ancestors.